Yo, welcome everyone. A massive move will happen on Bitcoin in the next 24 hours. Get ready because some major liquidations are coming. Let me show you. Bitcoin for the past couple of hours really has not been moving anywhere. We are chopping around the area of approximately 104 and 105,000 US dollars, and everyone is right now waiting for a significant pump or maybe even a significant dump. Looking on Twitter, to be honest, a lot of people are saying Bitcoin is going lower. That is why later in the video, I also want to cover this very interesting post from Stock Money Lizards. But nevertheless, right now, for the past couple of hours, Bitcoin is actually trading at some kind of a key level. When we are measuring the entire upper price action with volume, you are going to notice for the past couple of hours, we are trading at the biggest volume cluster at the point of control at 104.5 thousand US dollars. Additionally, measuring only this specific part of the price action, it also does look like we hit the value area low, the last volume support level, and also as of right now, we are trading at the point of control. So clearly, we are trading at some kind of a key level on the Bitcoin chart itself. And additionally, for the past couple of hours, we are right now seeing some bullish indications in the order flow. And that is exactly what I posted on Twitter literally only 1 hour ago, where I said Bitcoin sellers getting absorbed hard. Shorts might get squeezed today. So it really does look like a lot of people are selling exactly at the areas of support, simply because the sentiment on Twitter is being very, very bearish. But the thing is, even if Bitcoin is right now going to continue lower, entering a short or a sell position at the area of support, in my opinion, does not really make a lot of sense. Yes, as of right now, I still do remain in my short positions on Bitcoin and on Ethereum. However, I did pay myself. I did take some profits off the table simply because we are seeing this bullish absorption. What does that mean? It means Bitcoin is pushing higher with higher lows, while the CVD indicator is forming another lower low. So it means more selling pressure is coming in the market on this part of the chart versus what we got on this specific low. But the thing is, Bitcoin is pushing higher. So we are seeing more selling pressure, but we are pushing higher, which means bullish absorption, bullish indication, and of course also a bullish divergence is right now being present on the CVD indicator. So technically speaking, we should right now already expect higher targets on the Bitcoin chart itself in the next couple of hours. However, I am personally not entering another long or a buying position just yet. As I said before, I have already paid myself with my short position, and in a case we are going to pump, I am also prepared with my long position. However, why I am as of right now not entering a long position just yet? The first reason is going to be the liquidations we can notice on the 2-week time frame, and more about that slightly later. But also the second reason is my main plan for Bitcoin is actually for us to go right now slightly lower, for Bitcoin to take the liquidity below the recent low, and only then, if there is going to be some kind of a reaction towards the upside, I am going to enter another long position on the Bitcoin chart itself. Ideally, I would also like to see some bullish divergences on the RSI, MACD, and the money flow indicator on the 4-hour time frame. That being said, lower low on Bitcoin, higher low on RSI, higher low on MACD, and maybe even the money flow indicator to be in the oversold area. That is, in my opinion, going to be a very high probable setup. But once again, you need to monitor the reaction not only on Bitcoin, also potentially on Ethereum if you're looking for another buy position. Where I actually said yesterday, Ethereum has a clean level just below the low. I'll long only if we see a solid reaction. Also, markets dripping with fear right now. That is why I want to cover this very interesting tweet. And before we do talk about it, I would really appreciate for you to smash up the like button, because 1000 likes are really possible. And also, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Let me right now cover the tweet from Stock Money Lizards, because the sentiment in the market right now is super bearish. Everyone is expecting targets to approximately 97, maybe even 94,000 $94,000 US. But let me right now read this to you. Herd mentality. Bitcoin is going down due to World War III. Remember, when Kramer called a black swan event and stocks closed green, or when inflation was high, macro was bad, and Bitcoin surged from 15 to 100,000 US, or when everyone said Trump is going to send everything way higher. I think it is time to accept that the masses will be wrong another time. Bitcoin can dip for sure. 105, 102, 97, maybe even 94,000 US. We will be much higher 3 months from now. Personal opinion, not financial advice. And that is also actually something I said to you yesterday. Yes, we can go lower. Yes, 97 or 94,000 US price targets are definitely possible, especially if Bitcoin is right now still forming a bigger ABC correction. I already shared with you 3 or actually 4 days ago right now, where I actually said, yes, price targets to approximately 95, maybe even 91,000 US are very much possible. However, the first thing is, we trade from level to level, and as of right now, if we are going to see another push down on Bitcoin, our first major area of support is already going to be hit. The trading idea I already shared with you yesterday, so that is why it's super important for you to set an alert below the recent low in a case it is going to happen, and simply trade the reaction. We don't need to guess if the level right here is going to hold. We are simply wait for some kind of a reaction, enter a long position, stop loss below the recent low, and let's see if we are going to continue higher. Even though Bitcoin can right now potentially push lower, we are not guessing if we are right now actually going to go towards our much lower targets, towards 94,000 US, as the majority of the market is right now expecting. And also actually, one very important thing I want to point out on the 4-hourly time frame. Remember, in our last video, I talked about this major symmetrical triangle. Guess what majority of people are paying attention to? This specific symmetrical triangle potentially can see a break towards downside. And guess what? They are going to be even more bearish exactly at the areas of support. Again, I am not saying our major support level right here needs to hold. We are simply going to observe the reaction, but the reality is, at the areas of support, no way I am looking for another short position. So what can that mean? Fake out towards the downside. We see a lot of people getting liquidated because of this specific chart I'm going to share with you in a moment. We see a lot of people entering brand new short or sell positions exactly at the bottom, and then potentially we do see a major reversal towards the upside, literally straight towards another all-time high. Again, we can see a successful breakdown out of our symmetrical triangle. However, the most important thing is we are not interested shorting at the area of support, because usually we want to short the area of resistance and buy at the area of support. That is why if you want to right now trade with us and take an advantage of the free 8,000 US dollar bonus without KYC, click the second link down below in the description, because only after you register, you're going to get 10 USDT. This specific bonus is right now still capped to only first 500 users, but then also deposit to your account, because you're going to get another 20% deposit bonus, but also the more you're going to trade, the bigger rewards you're going to get. So this specific campaign is right now valid for only the next 8 days, so take advantage of it with the second link down below, because only after you register, you're already going to get some very nice bonuses. Now, let me also talk about the first major liquidation cluster. Yesterday on Twitter, I actually also posted another very important chart where I said Bitcoin has some major liquidations at the all-time high. We'll get there eventually. Patience first. And you can right now see that yes, on the 2-week time frame, the biggest liquidations are actually coming in exactly at the all-time high, where hundreds of millions of short positions are going to get wrecked, are going to get liquidated. But also, one another level right now stands out, paying attention on the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, where you can right now see another major liquidations level is right now coming in at 102.5 thousand US dollars. Surprisingly, or maybe even not, this specific level lands exactly below the recent low, lands exactly where we do have actually some kind of a very nice area of support, where potentially we could be looking for a bullish reaction towards the upside, and for us to enter another long or a buying position on Bitcoin itself. That is why I am telling to you, even though we are seeing right now this bullish divergence, yes, we can already go higher. That is why I paid myself with my short position. However, for me to enter another long position, I want to see Bitcoin ideally take the liquidity below the recent low, wrecked as much people as possible, see some kind of a fake out of our triangle, and then send it straight towards another all-time high. In my opinion, that is really going to be an ideal scenario I am right now paying attention to. The reality is, yes, for example, if you go with the exponential moving averages on the 1 hourly time frame, we are clearly moving in a downtrend. On the 2 hourly time frame, we are also still in a downtrend. However, on higher term time frames, on the 4 hourly, on the daily time frame, we are right now moving still in a significant uptrend. That is why I don't want to immediately call for such low targets to approximately 95, 94, 90,000 US dollars on Bitcoin, because I know we are trading at some very important areas of support, and of course, if there is going to be a reaction towards the upside, we might even look to fire another long or a buy position on Bitcoin. And also right now, probably you're wondering, what is going to be the first important area of resistance in a case we are going to see higher? Because yes, we need to talk about a significant area of resistance we can right now notice, because on the daily time frame we confirmed a brand new daily high term time frame area of resistance at 106.7 thousand US dollars, and this specific level is really not a random level. Let me right now go with the anchored VWAP. When we anchor it exactly at the all-time high, you're going to see it is coming in almost exactly at the daily level. Additionally, Fibonacci retracement from the swing high back towards the swing low, golden pocket aligning exactly with the daily level and the anchored VWAP. And additionally, we can apply on our chart the major horizontal range, and the mid-level of the range is coming in exactly at this specific area. So if you right now ask me what is the next major area of resistance you should pay attention to, clearly it is going to be 106.7 thousand US dollars on the Bitcoin chart itself, where potentially we can see some kind of a rejection towards downside. Let's see what's going to happen. Ideally, I first want to see a push down before a major pump towards the upside, but nevertheless, again, I am still saying to you, we can already go higher. That is why I paid myself with my short or a sell position, not only on Bitcoin, but also on Ethereum. Talking about Ethereum, if you do follow me on Twitter, you know exactly what I am expecting. Not only Ethereum has gotten a perfect rejection almost exactly at the value area high of the entire upper price section, we hit the volume level, we got a rejection towards downside. And yes, if you do follow me on Twitter, you know my exact price prediction I talked about on the Ethereum price itself, where a lot of people were saying to me, we are going much higher. I knew it's a very important level. That is why I entered a short position, and as right now, we are seeing a push towards downside. On Ethereum as right now, literally exactly the same as on Bitcoin. I want to see another push down, ideally towards our liquidity level, and then some kind of a reaction towards the upside. However, I am aware, because if Bitcoin does right now already pushes higher, because of the bullish absorption right here, we could potentially already see higher targets on Ethereum itself. So I really do hope you're right now ready in a case we already go higher, or simply in a case we do see a push towards downside, where we need to be aware and pay attention to some kind of a reaction towards the upside in a case it does occur, because we can be looking to fire another long or a buy position, not only on Bitcoin, also potentially on Ethereum, maybe also on XRP or some other altcoins. And that is simply why take an advantage of the free 8,000 US dollar bonus without KYC and without VPN with the second link down below in the description, because only after you register you get 10 USDT, and after you deposit you're going to get a 20% deposit bonus. But also right now, thank you for smashing up the like button.